Good morning, algebra students. Don't act like you don't do your schoolwork in your pajamas, so I'm gonna teach in my pajamas. Why not? And it's been a long week. Spring break's coming up. Last day before spring break, so yeah, we're gonna teach in our pajamas. Flipgrid question, go answer it, they're good fun. Also, you are here, you have already found the YouTube lesson. Please, at this time, pause the video, try that problem in your notes, and then unpause it to do it with me. Okay, we are told to solve this equation right here. This one. First thing I notice is that every single thing here has a W. So let me pull a W out. And we are left with W squared minus 8W plus 16 equals 0. Do not forget the equals 0. That is an incredibly important part. Alright, now I need to factor this even further so that I can set this equal to 0. Ooh, you know what I notice? I notice that this is the perfect square trinomial pattern. So I notice that this is W squared minus 2 times 4 times W plus 4 squared. So this is actually W minus 4 squared. And now what we have is we have W equals 0 or W minus 4 equals 0. So W equals 0 or, whoop, you can't read that very well. We plus 4 to both sides. We get W equals 4. And that is with order 2. Wonderful, wonderful. So we factored it completely, and then we set each piece equal to 0 because of our zero product property. Okay, nice review from yesterday. Also, I want to point out this says never. Yesterday we talked about limiting our always and our nevers. So it says never do tomorrow what you can do today. Procrastination is the thief of time. Now it is true that procrastination is the thief of time. It is true that procrastination is not the best thing in the world. But we still shouldn't use the word never. Because to never do tomorrow what you can do today, well, I could do a lot of things today, but that doesn't mean that I should do them all today and that I should never do it tomorrow. Sometimes you need a break. You need to do that tomorrow and you need to relax right now. Sometimes. Not always, because remember we're limiting our always and our never. So use good judgment when you're going, should I get this done today? Can I leave that for tomorrow? Should I? Could I? Yes. Use good judgment when budgeting your time. And don't procrastinate too much. Okay. Let's move on to what we have for today. Today is a Chapter 7 review. Our learning target says, I remember everything I have learned. I have learned about polynomials. And our success criteria says, I can solve problems using all the concepts I've learned from Chapter 7. So today we are going to review all of Chapter 7, the whole chapter. How are we going to do that? Well, this is the exhaustive list of everything, absolutely everything, that we learned in Chapter 7. All the vocab up top, all of the concepts at the bottom. On this side is the beginning of the chapter, and on that side is the end of the chapter. That side's factoring, this side is like adding, subtracting, multiplying sort of thing. So this is everything. However, I'm aware that all of this at once can be very overwhelming, so I've broken it down for you. Let's break it down. I've broken it down like this. I've broken it down by section. First, adding, subtracting polynomials. You need to know how to do that. Second, you need to know how to multiply polynomials. Foil them and binomials, trinomials, monomials, all of it. You need to know how to multiply them. 7.3, those were our patterns. So these were, zoom in here, this was like the a plus b squared equals a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. And this was the a minus b, a plus b equals a squared minus b squared. The zero product property was if a, b equals 0, then a equals 0 or b equals 0. And the GCF was when we factored something out. Section 7.5 was factoring quadratics in this form. That was when we did our cross, and it needs to add to this number and multiply to this number. Factoring in this form, this was when we had a number in front of the x squared, and this was when we did the factors of a on this side. We'll do factors of a on this side and factors of c on this side, and we did our crisscross like that. Section 7.7, factoring our patterns. So this was when we looked, in fact, let's color code. So these were when we looked for these two things, and we went the opposite direction. Woo! Blessings. Okay. So, did you sneeze? You see how I sneezed into my elbow, just like we all should be, and then I'm gonna wash this bathrobe later? Okay. So, we were taking polynomials in this form and putting them back into factored form. That's what section 7.7 was about. And 7.8 was factoring by grouping. That's when we had a term of, like, a term of something like that, where we were pulling, we had 4 terms like this, and we split them up into pairs with common factors. And then factoring polynomials completely is what we just did in the entry task. So all of this, you should remember how to do all of this. So, next I've included examples from each section, just like we did when we did the quiz. Examples from 7.1, 7.2, 7.3, 7.4. Let's see, this could also have, it doesn't have an example, but factoring the GCF, make sure you know that too. 7.5, the way that we did it this way, adds to 6, multiplies to -27. And these ones, we did it this way, factors of 1, or factors of 5, factors of 7, and then we crisscrossed. 7.7, write as a squared, write as a squared minus 2. This is the same thing as what we did. And lastly, 7.8, factoring polynomials completely. And remember, what we also did in 7.8 was factoring by grouping. Okay, so about those examples, make sure you know how to do all of those types of problems. And I have given you more study tips here, so make sure that you understand all of these examples, all the ones that I just showed you. Make sure you understand all of those. Look through old homework assignments. Can you still do them? If yes, awesome, great, ready for the test. If not, if no, you should study more, because everything on the homework is up for grabs on the test. Take the list at the beginning of these slides. That's where we had the bullet points of 7.1, 7.2. So if you know how to do something, cross it out. Don't stop studying until everything on the list is crossed off. That's the way to study for everything and make sure you're completely ready. Take the practice test and check your answers. Check your answers. Why not? Make sure that you did everything right by checking your answers, because even if you finished the whole practice test, what if you're doing everything wrong? That would stink. So please check your answers. With the solutions posted in the practice test folder, same place it always is. If you need to know where that practice test folder is, watch our YouTube video about navigating Mrs. Dodge's Google Class. I can put a link to that in the description. Your homework for today will be a practice test. If you want to treat it like a test and do it without notes, without homework, without examples, without the internet, I would recommend it. See how much you remember from Chapter 7, and then you can always go back and grade it and redo it and fix your mistakes with your notes, your homework, and the internet, stuff like that. So, I would recommend that. If you have questions, remember that you should tune in to Mrs. Dodge's live stream every weekday from 12 to 2 p.m. It's a good time. Come join us. And here is your practice test that will be homework, of course. I would recommend doing it without notes first time around, then fix it with notes and things. And lastly, your launch for today comes from actress Audrey Hepburn, and it says, "Nothing is impossible." The word itself says, "I'm possible." So, that comes from, yeah, I'm possible. And you might have heard this one before. I like this because our attitude can change everything about our life. If you immediately say, it's not possible, can't be done, then, well, you're never gonna try, right? If it's impossible, you're never gonna try. But if you say, maybe there's a way, maybe we can do this, then you can actually try. But if you say, oh, I could never pass this class, not possible, well, why would you try if it's not possible? But if you say, it's possible for me to pass this class, I'm gonna work really hard and do my best and see if I can pass this class. It might seem impossible, but most things that seem impossible aren't. So, that's my launch for you today. Take it with you as you go throughout your day. And thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Bye.